Into Red Room. I was doing a series of videos for my other channel, and I'm just gonna wear the same shirt across the board. I don't give a damn. But anyway, so I am gonna just do like a video about entering, kind of slowly approaching my mid-30s and like how I've changed a little bit. So here we go. So I'm approaching my like mid-ish 30s because I'm 32 now. So next year I'll be 33, and then like I'll be officially kind of like heading in that direction. And there's a few things I kind of noticed about myself and what I need and require as a person. And yeah, like I just want to talk about that. So on the like mental tip, I really realized I like to chill out a lot. I like to chill out a lot. I do like to decompress. I have to decompress, and my decompression is alone time often. Alone time is in like I'm not with anyone. I'm not like talking to someone. I can be texting you, but I'm generally like alone as in like physically there's no one like around me. I'm not entertaining anyone like in person, right? Online and stuff like that is like a thing. That's my preference anyway. Online via text, voice note, shit like that. I'm not like 100% in person, mainly because I kind of feel like sometimes in person you just feel restricted, especially like I don't like going with people in their car or just like sharing a car, because I don't want to feel obligated to like stick around, and I don't want to feel obligated for them to like stick around, because when I want to bounce, I want to bounce, you know what I'm saying? So I just noticed that, but I need a lot of alone time. I noticed that I need a lot of alone time. I need a lot of alone time to process what I want. And I'm not someone who likes to like talk to someone necessarily like in the moment. I like to like process it and go from there. Like, I can't do this whole shit where like we gotta process this to get like leave me alone. Like leave me the fuck alone. Like I'm very big on like boundaries in that way, because I just like processing stuff. And when I want to talk, I'll talk, and when I don't want to talk, I don't want to talk. Like I'm one of those people that just like don't force me to like try and talk, especially if I'm really upset about something and I'm crying. Don't try to get in my way about that, because then I get angry and I get really like bitchy and kind of mean, and I just I don't like to be that kind of person, but like I also like I am very big on boundaries now. Like as I've gotten older, I like boundaries. Like I feel like everyone has boundaries, and you should have boundaries. Like what the fuck? Like I don't like that. Like that was a whole thing, a whole blow up like yesterday or whatever. Like not having boundaries or respecting boundaries or thinking boundaries are a thing. They're all a thing, yeah. So I like alone time. I like a lot of alone time. I also like to like cook, but I don't like cook consistently. I'm being real. I like to cook. I like to eat. I am an emotional eater, and I gotta like deal with that, because I have a gluttonous spirit. I kind of like realized that in the last few years. I mean, my like the scale should have told me that, but like I have a gluttonous personality. Like oh my god, like and the crazy thing is I'll forget that I bought something. Like I'll get like a bag of chips, and then like I'll go somewhere and I'll get another bag of chips, and then I'm like, oh shit, like I have a bag of chips. Why are these spiders everywhere? Hold on. Let me like I'm sorry, the spider is like came out of nowhere. I'm like, bro, where are you coming from? Hold on. I did not get it because I'm a slow mover. And that spider was like, I'm running for my life. It was like, I'm running for my life. As soon as I got up, it was like, yeah, I'm gonna go. It was like running for his like fucking life. I'm like, bro, like, okay, like I get it. Like you can stay. You can stay, I guess. Because I had one this morning up in my room, and I was like, I had to kill you. And I was like throwing my like my shoe at the thing at the ceiling, and eventually hit it. But it was just like it was just a mess. So it's funny that this spider was just like, I'm booking it like 100%. I'm not sticking around. I heard what happened to the other one. I heard through the grapevine. What happened? Anyway, another thing, I like expressing myself through humor. And yeah, but I like boundaries. I like time away. I like processing. I'm quite gluttonous, and I need to work on that. I do like laughing. I do like humor, but I realize I'm a more serious person than I thought. And I think when people meet me, it can go either way. Like, I think people meet me and they think I'm very uptight and stuff like that, which I am. But then when they get to know me, sometimes I think it shifts to like not taking me serious, and I'm like, no, let's keep the part where like you take me serious, because I'm still an adult here, like, you know. And I think it's because people think I'm younger than I actually am, so they treat me kind of like, you know, like I'm just living my life. Like, people think I'm like mid-20s ish, somewhere around there. I've got between 23 and like 26, somewhere in there, and it's like, no, I'm in my 30s. So it's just like, please, like, treat me as that. It's not even like just treat me with respect. Like, you know, I'm actually pretty laid back as a person. I don't like to be bothered with a lot of stuff. It's almost like I'm very black and white with a lot of things. It's a yes or a no with me. Like, day-to-day things, we're doing it or not. I have time or I don't. I have the money or I don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm prone to overthinking as well, but I'm just kind of like, it's a yes or it's a no. And I tend to be very, like, solution oriented. And that's something I had to grow into, because when I feel like I need to do a lot of tasks, I still am working through this where I procrastinate a lot, and then I'm like, oh my god, the world is falling down. It's like, girl, like, you should have just like fucking did the shit. But I can be very vigilant about my stuff, but it's like I had to get to the point where like I like focused. And I think a lot of that stemmed from like the fact that my career trajectory has been all over the place, and so I've had to like start over so much that like now that I'm finally settling in truly into what I want to do, it's kind of like, okay, now I have to like actually be focused, stay consistent, be committed to it, and dedicate it, and see it through to the end. Versus when I was younger, I would flip from thing to thing to thing. And I still have my side quests where I'm doing with a lot of different things, but it's a little bit more cohesive of an ecosystem, because they all are going in the same direction, you know what I'm saying? And so that's kind of like more my thing. Another thing I noticed was that I like time blocked type things. So if I'm given a task, I don't really like to be deviated from that with other tasks. One of the things I hate about a lot of jobs is that a lot of jobs are not efficient. And it's kind of like the reason why you're not is because you have like 3 or 4 things that you have to do, and they're expecting you to do all 4 at the same time, and that doesn't work. Like, you have to learn how to prioritize what you're doing to get the things done. Like, for me, if you're going to give me a pile of like 50 papers and you want me to like organize them A to Z, don't expect me to then do something else simultaneously. Like, I'm going to complete this task to completion. Like I'm going to do the entire thing through. Especially if we're on a time schedule, I'm going to like do that. And so people, I think working with me, people are kind of like, why is she like focused on this one thing and we need her to do things? It's just because I've made this, if you give this to me first also, this is the priority that you've like set, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. So I like job environments where like that aspect is relatively stable. I don't like being pulled in many different directions, because I also feel like those are the type of jobs I feel like where you are less emotionally supported when stuff starts at the fan, and you're around a lot of people who how do you like say this, because I'm not in these environments really now, but it's like they don't pull their weight, and then you end up having to do more, but then you don't get compensated, you don't even get congratulated, you don't get thanked. And it's this like really toxic dynamic that like kind of like bleeds into your other aspects of your life, where like you're giving more than you're receiving, and there's an expectation of you to give more. I really don't like those in the job place. In terms of my health and stuff like that, my mental health is really important to me. I would not be surprised if I went and I got diagnosed for like ADHD or even like autism or something like that. I would not be surprised, given my proclivity to listen to the same things over and over again, be like order the same things over and over again. When I go places, like I don't order new things. I tend to just stick to what I know, and I'll experiment from time to time, but often I'm gonna be real, like that should be annoying, because then it's like, like for me, when I'm spending money on it, I'm like, man, I want this shit to taste decent. I want this shit to be good. I don't want this shit to like be disgusting, you know? So stick with the whole try and true. And the crazy part is, outside of that, I'm not risk averse, like to a lot of, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna like do like really dumb stuff where I can like blow or risk like my livelihood or whatever, my life. I have done some pretty dangerous things though, but I am a risk taker, and like I think in a professional setting I'm a risk taker, and that I've tried many different things and I'm okay with like starting over again. But I'm very like risk averse in my day-to-day routine. I don't like changes to my routine. Like I need to know what I'm doing. I don't like every other day I'm doing something different, which is funny because I do every other day something is different, but I know that I'm doing something different now. But I don't like when expectations are all over the place, because like that makes me out of sorts. I'm not adaptable in that way. I'm gonna be real, especially if you're not communicating that and you just expect me to know that shit. I don't know. I am, in terms of communication style, more of like you should know, but I'm getting better to like communicate my needs. And if I'm unsatisfied with something, like I'll step back to make sure I don't say it in a nasty way. And sometimes I do hold my tongue, but that comes out like, and then it comes out a lot, and then people are like, where is this shit coming from? And it's like, it's coming from this place that I've been in for years or for months. So I'm working on that as a person, you know? So I'm like, okay, cool. And in terms of like my physical health, I realized I don't want to work at a home. I like the energy of being around other people without having to necessarily interact. So I like the idea of a cafe and stuff like that. I like the energy to be alive and bustling, right? And people are doing their own thing, and we're all doing our own thing together. You know what I'm saying? Like you're on your laptop over there, you're on your laptop over here, I'm on my phone over here. This person just walked in and they're having a conversation. You know, I may or may not be listening in depending on how interesting it is, but it's not like we all have to sit together and talk and interact. I like that sort of energy. So I like a cafe, library kind of vibe type thing. I like going to malls because I like walking around, and I like that energy of being around people where it's like lively and stuff like that, but not necessarily always having to talk to them. Okay? I get my fill from interacting with people. That's my energy vampirism. What's yours? But I just like being alive, you know? Being alive and like seeing people and walking around people, but not necessarily having to like chat and have a conversation. I like seeing just human beings be human beings and just be like grateful that I can like interact and be in this space and this time and stuff like that. And that's another thing about me. I also have these random moments where I just like either burst into tears because I'm really grateful for life and the ability to just like be able to see or just walk or like hear or like taste stuff, touch things, being able to like do shit like drive and cook and like just taste like ice cream, and just like I'm all over the place emotionally sometimes. So mental health wise, I'm like, oh, I gotta figure that out. But yeah. And then lastly, for me, I realized turning 32, entering that mid-30s kind of like zone, starting to get there, I need sleep. I like naps. I get really cranky, and I really can't do the 6 hours worth of sleep shit anymore. I'm like, could I ever do it? I'm thinking to myself, could I ever do that shit? No. Like, not really. Like, I realized, like, I like the the higher end of sleep. So I like that 8.5 hours of sleep. I just personally just don't understand like sleep deprivation anymore. I just feel like I feel I feel the shift in my body if I don't get enough rest, if I don't get enough time to de-stress, if I don't get enough like water, if I don't get enough like mental stimulation, if I don't get enough like space to breathe. I can feel it a lot more now in my 30s. And it's kind of funny that as you get older, your mental acuity, you're actually going down. You're declining in all aspects. But in many ways, you're being able to utilize your time and your energy a little bit wiser, but then it's like you have less time, less energy. And so like I'm more focused now in my 30s, right, than I used to be. But it's like funny because it's like now I don't feel as strong as I used to. I don't feel as like fresh as I used to. I don't feel like I can just get up and like do shit like as much. I don't feel like I can do 4 hours of sleep and be like, yeah, like I'm decent, I'm still good. Like 6 hours, 6.5 hours, I'm like crying. I'm like really sincerely crying. I'm crying because I'm just like, oh my God, like this, I need more sleep. Sleep means a lot to me. Rest means a lot to me. I'm going to do a video about my sleep essentials. It's very few. It's not that much, but this is already a longer video. But I need sleep. I need to rest and I need breaks from stuff. And I know I'm really off kilter when I feel very foggy, like mentally. I know I'm sleep deprived. I know I'm like really battling like mental, like either anguish or depression or something like that. I just know myself a little bit better. Same thing with my menstruation. I know myself a little bit better. I know generally what phase I'm in based on what I'm doing and how I'm acting, right? I know how I'm feeling. I know when my period is kind of inching towards like starting. I know that part of my body more. Like now, I know that I should probably start making my way upstairs to like prepare for bed. And it's 11 o'clock. I know this about myself. I know this about myself. And so I'm like, okay, let's do that. Let's inch towards being upstairs and like just going to sleep. It's just like, you just need to do that, you know? So yeah, these are some of the things that I have started to notice in my 30s. And I feel like your 30s do bring a sense of clarity and a sense of like self-confidence and self-awareness that your 20s don't have. And just a level of just like focus I think that you have. I think by the time you get into your 30s, I think you start to see a little bit of the world differently. You may start to have your first major, some people get this very young, but you may have your first brushes with like death, like people, like your late, I'm an astrological person, so from your Saturn return, but like by the time you're in your 30s, some people significant to you may have already like passed or will pass, and so you kind of start to see, it's like you lose your innocence. But I feel like if you're going through something like that in your 30s, especially late 20s, early 30s, or just really the decade of your 30s, I think just understanding that you have all the time in the world, but you don't. That like one day you will get like older than you are now, hopefully. Like you don't just stop and you're, at 30, hopefully you go on to live 70, 80, 90, 100, however old. but that you do have this finite space of time that you've been given to live, and to live it fully, and to be focused about it, right? And intentional about it. And I think that's the biggest thing that I've learned in my 30s, to be very intentional with where I'm going, where I'm headed, and being able to communicate that with myself and then other people, and making sure that like they don't get in the way of that. You know, like don't take that time for granted, because time goes by really fast. You know, I didn't think, in my mind, I couldn't envision me being 30, right? When I was 10, I couldn't even envision me being 18. Turned 18. Couldn't envision me being 21. Turned 21. Couldn't envision me being 25. Turned 25. Couldn't envision me being 30. Turned 30. Can't envision me being 33. Hopefully we'll turn 33, you know? So, yeah, like just appreciating time and what you've been given, and using it and not wasting it, right? And if you feel like you've wasted it, you can always like do better, but it's just like, don't waste anymore, you know? So yeah, these are the things about my approach to mid-30s that I've kind of learned about myself and my observances of the world. I'm kind of tired now. So thanks for watching. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace out.